All right, good evening, everybody. It is Monday. We are streaming live on Twitch and YouTube, so thanks to everybody for checking in for tonight. If you've never been here before, welcome to the show. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek, giving you an update as to what's going on with the current weather situation. We're coming to you live and direct from Chattanooga, Tennessee, southeast Tennessee, northwest Georgia, northeast Alabama, and back into western North Carolina. That's where we're hailing from for tonight. If you've got questions, go ahead and drop them into the Twitch stream chat function, and if you have any questions on the YouTube side of things, again, the chat function is available and working there. Say hello, tell us where you're from. If you have any questions, again, about the forecast, please just let us know, and we'll talk about that as we go along through the rest of the evening tonight. Good news, again, we're getting more rainfall. Bad news, we're going to be seeing more rain and thunder, which could interrupt outdoor activities, including Earth Day activities, which, again, usually a lot of that goes on outdoors for litter cleanup and neighborhood beautification projects, things like that. That may have some problems around here as we go into tomorrow with some more chances of showers and thunderstorms. We'll take a look at that coming up here in just a little bit. Taking a look down to our south and east, the News 12 viewing area in the bold lined area here, again, northwest Georgia, northeast Alabama, southeast Tennessee, and Cherokee County in North Carolina. Chattanooga right through there. New thunderstorms coming up down into and around portions of the area close to Birmingham and Montgomery, passing on down through around Fayette, Tuscaloosa, around the Gardendale area. This is heading up our direction. If you're in Jackson or DeKalb counties, you may wind up with some of this activity happening in your location relatively soon. So that could be a bit of an issue there for anybody who is going to be traveling or outdoors. This is, again, about 8 minutes before 10 o'clock Eastern Time. In the 9 o'clock area Central Time, this is where we're seeing the worst potential for any thunderstorms out there. Birmingham, I-20, I-65 crossroads, that's where we're looking at the heaviest rainfall, and that generally moving our direction. Now, there was a risk of severe weather, but as of right now, the best potential for that severe weather has gone out the window, according to the Storm Prediction Center. So some good news on that. We do have, again, the potential for generic thunderstorms in that green shaded area. The key at the upper right-hand corner of our banner up here, pale green, that means non-severe. There's nothing going on right now in the way of severe weather, nor are we really expecting to see anything coming up as we go into and around the next about 24 hours, according to this anyway, at least through tonight and into about 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So generic thunderstorms, yes, but as of right now, we do not see anything, again, in the way of major amounts of problems coming up. Let me go a couple days out for right now, and again, for tonight, that's the main threat that we're looking at, is again just generic thunderstorms. For Tuesday, again, generic thunderstorms here, possibility that marginal threat of severe weather well back over to the Carolinas and coastal Carolinas especially. And then as we go into Wednesday, a more widespread area of generic thunderstorms, and that will be the worst of the worst, at least through about Wednesday. We do not have anything else approaching severe limits, according to the Storm Prediction Center, which puts out this forecast. And for right now, again, these forecasts that you're looking at that I've just shown you are several hours old, but they get updated regularly, so we'll see if there's any more severe threats as we go into Tuesday. But for right now, things are looking, again, decently quiet and should be staying that way, again, for tonight. Can't rule out the possibility of, again, some more in the way of thunderstorms out there overnight. So if you have any plans for travel, please keep that in mind, as we could be looking at the potential for more of that happening. We don't really have much going on directly in the News 12 viewing area right now. We do have, again, some very light drizzle and haze, but nothing specifically in the way of major amounts of rainfall coming down. So for right now, 153 from right to left and left to right, and 64 overpass here. That's at Lee Point over into south central Chattanooga from the Plainview Outdoor Advertising camera on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network. If you'd like to see that and all of our cameras, go to wdef.com/weather. Be glad to show you around there if you'd like to take a look at our website. Again, kind of hazy, a lot of clouds out there. Not going to be doing any stargazing tonight. No satellite spotting coming up. Downtown lit up pretty well, but that sky shine reflected back with that mist and drizzle across much of the area. Traffic earlier was a bit of a snarl as this upcoming camera, and is again from 75 north, just south of here is the Tennessee-Georgia state line. Northbound on 75 to 24 westbound, that is where we're seeing, again, the worst potential. There's construction and major construction going on just over on the other side of this camera, back around Germantown and Moore roads. So slow traffic from 75 north back over to 24 west, 24 east to 75 north moving along, and 24 east to 75 south also moving along pretty well. You can see more of that haze and drizzle out there in the web cameras, but there's really not much of anything going on otherwise, again, for tonight. So decently, again, quiet. Here's hoping it kind of stays that way. Let's do one more camera from downtown, the Patriot Concrete camera. Again, decently hazy with, again, a little bit of drizzle, a little bit of fog. Fog could be a problem into overnight. I wouldn't be surprised to see the National Weather Service issue a dense fog advisory if conditions warrant for that, so please keep that in mind overnight as well. Temperatures at the Chattanooga Airport out around 2475, 69 degrees. Numbers have dropped a couple of degrees in the last couple of hours. Won't be going too much farther downwards into the rest of the next several hours from what it looks like, because as of right now, what we will be looking for is going to be some fairly mild numbers. We will not be seeing too much in the way of temperatures really cooling off. We may hit the lower 60s, lower to mid 60s, and that's as chilly as it gets tonight. So maybe a jacket in the morning if you're going to be heading out the door with the kids to the school bus stop. Outside of that, doesn't really look like, again, a lot of concern for right now. Definitely not going to need the parka or anything else anytime soon on that. For tonight, again, not seeing too much of any huge amounts going on. This front is going to be sticking around, and over the next few days, it's going to kind of wobble back and forth. It will be replaced on energy. These impulses coming in from out west are going to do a good job of kind of resupplying the potential of stirring up the atmosphere. And we've got several of those over the next several days that are going to be helping the original front to sort of stay in place and kind of wobble back and forth. If we go back into that a little bit farther, if my computer will play catch up with me here, that would help out. Let's see, there we go. All right, there. If we take a look down to the south, News 12 viewing area right here, and again back to the area close to the stationary front, which means the front is starting to slow down, and without anything to really push it forward, it's going to be stuck pretty much right there. Excuse me for a second, I've got a sneeze coming on. I was hoping to avoid that. I've tried not to sneeze on camera. It's such a rude thing to do. But unfortunately, pollen has been doing a very good job of affecting the honker, so trying to avoid any gross displays on there. Apologies for that, but unfortunately may have to happen. We have those chances of showers and thunderstorms again. Mississippi, Alabama moving up our direction here. No sign of any severe weather, some rumbles of thunder, maybe some small hail. And again, along and south of this front is going to be the best potential for those showers and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, into the next couple of days, that is where we see that potential for, again, the most in the way of those fronts that come through, move off to the east, and then we're done with them and we clear things out with high pressure. In this case, the weak area of high pressure kind of gets smushed in between these systems, calms this one other system down, but there's going to be enough energy from this system to merge with this original one, and that'll keep the front in place so that we see the potential of even more showers and thunderstorms over the course of the next several days. So if you have plans again to travel next couple of days, that's where we could be looking at some potential problems out there with more of this rainfall coming around. So keep an eye on the forecast, and we'll keep you updated as to what may be going on. For temperatures tonight, lows only back in the high 50s to the lower 60s. So again, not all that chilly out there, but definitely may need the rain protection in the morning. The temperature outlook for the next several days is showing the potential of well above chances for warmer weather heading on through. Most of that's going to be in the lower Mississippi Valley and down into and across portions of the Delta. So that is going to be the worst of the worst, but we're going to see some pretty toasty numbers coming our direction, and we'll run that off for you coming up here in just a little bit. So for what we're going to be expecting tonight, again, cloudy skies, not much of, anything going on in the way of huge amounts of rainfall, but there will be more potential of that as we go into the course of the next several days drawn out. We've gotten some rainfall. We could use some more. Not seeing anything flash flooding related or otherwise. The view from Island Cove, Marina and Resort, things are quiet here looking off to the south. Heavy cloud cover at the Marina and Resort. Earth Day is tomorrow, and again, we should be looking at the potential for more showers, more thunderstorms each and every single day this week, and right on into early on Saturday. Then we clear out a little bit. We have a bit of a gap coming up, and then our next system arrives after that, and that could give us the potential for even more rainfall, but at least we'll get most of Saturday, all of Sunday, all of next Monday cleared out, and that gives us the potential for some at least drier conditions on here. That's going to be the main thing for right now. The chances of anything, again, we're not seeing anything in the way of severe weather coming up, according to the Storm Prediction Center, and definitely not seeing anything frosty. We're pretty much past the average last frost for the year, for this time of the year, so that, again, will help us out for anybody with plants and anything outdoors, agriculture, horticulture-wise out there. So very much on the mild side, at least. Temperatures decently above normal for this time of the year. So if you have outdoor plans next few days, that's what we're going to need to keep an eye on. Let's see if our almanac has been fixed, because it wasn't last week, and yes, it is. 78, our high temperature today. That's 3 degrees above our normal. 75, 10 degrees below a record high temperature of 88. 60 the low, normal of 51. A record low that hasn't been broken since 1983. No rainfall officially today. We'll have to wait till midnight to see that tick over, and we're behind for the month of April by over half an inch and by 2 inches for the entire year. So we do have a need of some more rainfall. Hopefully we get some of that out there with what we have coming up over the next few days, but it's going to take a while on that. Weather window of the day. Thank you very much, Martin David Collier from Chattanooga, for a view kind of threading the photographic needle here, looking west or looking east on West Main Street in Chattanooga, right as the sun is coming up. So a beautiful view, kind of dangerous, unfortunately, when you have that sunlight going right into your face at some point in time. So nice to be able to see some clearer skies, which is more than what we're going to be able to see for this week out there. If you've got weather pictures, we'd love to see what you are seeing. And again, all you have to do is drop them to us as pictures at WDEF.com. You can go to our social media pages and drop them off there, or you can, again, go to our main web section. That's at WDEF.com/photos if you'd like to check in and see what is going on there. Our roofquotes.com poll question of the day. If you haven't checked in on this, please do so. It's at our website, WDEF.com/vote now. There's sports and news and weather questions and let's chat. And if you'd like to see more about that, all you have to do is just drop on by and take a look. Again, that's roofquotes.com as our sponsor. Today's question, homoclophobia is an intense fear of, there's a lot of weather phobias out there, more than I ever knew about before I started researching them. But homoclophobia is the fear of what? Fog, heat, or snow. And if you've ever read a Stephen King novel, you probably know the answer to this one already. The 81% of you, including news anchor Andrew Harrison selected that. So 4 out of 5 of you got that right. Thank you very much for voting in our poll. We'll have a new one going up at midnight, and you can vote through tomorrow. And check out the other polls that we have available. Again, use the QR code or go to our website, wdef.com/weather. And thanks to everybody for checking in on that. Into tomorrow, again, the best potential of rainfall we're going to have pretty much all day long. So if you are getting the kids out the door or you're heading out the door for postdoc type activities, you are going to need the umbrella with you, because for right now the potential of anything involving rain will be highest starting off early in the morning and going all the way throughout the rest of the day. So again, that is where we see the potential need for the rain gear. You're not going to need anything in the way of a coat tomorrow. Jacket in the morning, kind of, sort of, maybe on that. And for right now, that'll be the worst of it on temperature. But a mild day, showers and thunderstorms all the way through the day. So be prepared for that if you're going to be heading out the door for later on tomorrow morning. Pack that rain gear. Make certain you got an early start for the roadways, because they could be on the iffy side. More showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. So if you have any plans for anything going on outdoors, fishing related or otherwise, it's going to be very much on the mild side again. UV index will be much lower, so we don't see much of anything going on in the way of need for a lot of sunblock, but warm enough to take that extra refillable, renewable tankard of water. Again, it is Earth Day tomorrow, so let's all get focused on what we can do to help out our home in space. Yours, mine, everybody's. All the animals and critters we share this planet with. There's nowhere else to go, so let's make certain we're all paying attention to what needs to be done to improve our planet, instead of going the route of ultra-capitalism, which is, there's no end to it. So we need to figure out a way to be sustainable, build a circular economy. 15-minute cities are not dirty words. It is something we can really agree on and find out more about, and the reason why they make so much sense. So something to think about on that. Mid-70s tomorrow, again, outdoors on a big flat green surface with a metal pole or plastic or otherwise nearby, and you with a great big metal rod in your hands and cleats on your feet. That's not a good place to be when lightning starts poking around. So remember the catchphrase, when thunder roars, go indoors. If you see lightning or hear thunder, or it's detected on your detector, or you see it on radar as being within about 10 to 15 miles, close up shop, go inside, don't wait for the end of the round, go. Get into a building and stay there until the storm is well past. The 30-30 rule applies. Again, if you wait for 30 minutes for the storm to drift out of the area, that should put it at 30 miles away from you. Now, if that's the case, that means the storm can't chuck any more lightning bolts to reach you back that direction. They're called bolt from the blue or bolts from the blue, and they are dangerous and they can happen. Your odds of getting struck by lightning are so much better than winning the lottery. So let's not tempt fate or the odds on this one. So remember, if you see lightning, you hear thunder, that's it. And whatever you've got going on outside, wrap it up and get back indoors once again. The lifeguards at the pool, they are not trying to annoy you or make your day off or swimming lessons problematic. They're not trying to infuriate you. They're trying to save your life. So please keep that in mind before you go to a lifeguard's boss and start complaining about the place's policy for getting people out of the pool when lightning is around. That's a life-saving effort. Nobody wants to make that phone call to 911 to someone who's not breathing because they were struck by lightning or severe burns. All kinds of other stuff that could happen with that. So safety first, safety always. Let's make certain that everybody is doing the right thing out there and making certain that everybody is taken care of. Heading out the door with the pupper in the morning, it is going to be that possibility of showers and thunderstorms, so please keep that in mind. Again, you and the pupper might need some rain protection. Thanks to our anonymous viewers from Signal Mountain for a view of Pupper Cookie. That's our dog walking forecast for the morning hours. You can submit your dog pictures at wdef.com/dogwalk. Advertisers, if you'd like to advertise on this page, please contact our crack sales staff at wdef.com/advertise and see if you can hammer something out, and you could be the sponsor of the dog walking forecast page, which currently does not have a sponsor out there. I think that should do it for tonight. Been on for 20 minutes. It's a little bit longer than I thought we were going to be on. But again, for tonight, should not be that much of a problem when it comes to severe weather. Thanks a lot to the National Weather Service in Nashville for, sorry about the focus on YouTube. Don't know what happened there. National Weather Service Nashville, their subject tonight for Weather 101, the Weather Education webinar, which you can join for free. If you want to ask questions, you got to have a microphone and speakers to hear. Tonight's topic was quasi-linear convective systems. It's a real thing. Don't email me and tell me I'm making it up for ratings. It's an actual subject when it comes to severe weather structures on storms, and if that's all you have to complain about, you really need a much better hobby. Tomorrow's topic will be just the basics about weather 101 at its finest, and that will be 7 o'clock Central Time tomorrow, or if you're watching this Tuesday morning, Tuesday the 22nd. And again, this will be the storm system that we will be watching the worst on there for that. So again, if you want to know more about where to start to be a storm chaser, know the basics first about weather, about all types of weather. Get the information direct from the people at the National Weather Service. Go to weather.gov, click on the weather situation, click on the weather website. This is the slate for tonight. I haven't built the one for tomorrow yet, but that's the website you want to go to. I'll remember the words for it eventually. Sorry about that. It's been a long... Mondays are always the longest coming back. After a weekend, you get your time off and the brain just kind of settles and you got to get back into the system again. So again, if you want to know more about tomorrow's topic, just weather the basics, go to weather.gov/OHX. That's the 3-letter identifier for the National Weather Service in Nashville. That'll be held again Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central Time, the 22nd. So please head there and find out more about what NOAA does, keeping you informed and the community safer. NOAA does not just talk about climate change. That is a complete and utter lie. That is an absolute backwards way of looking at things. And just because people who work with and because of a certain project saying that NOAA is out to destroy the world or indoctrinate people about climate change, so we need to get rid of NOAA to get people to stop about talking about climate change, it ain't gonna work. So this is something really to think about on there, that again, hobnobbling a government agency that does so much to protect us. And for those in the project who say, oh, we'll just turn it over to a private weather forecasting firm, not one private weather forecasting firm can do all the stuff that NOAA does. So the idea, please just quit hobbling NOAA and doing anything to stop them from what their mission implies, which is keeping the public safe. Maybe you don't like them talking about climate change too much. You are free to stick your fingers in your ears and yell really loud when climate change is mentioned. Interesting thing is it's being talked about all over the entire planet. So as of right now, not helping anybody, especially the United States. As an example, there are now, because National Weather Service offices around the country have less personnel, there aren't enough people to do certain jobs, so other National Weather Service offices have to take over duties for other National Weather Service offices because there aren't enough people. Not enough people to launch the balloons that measure information from the atmosphere. And of course, a lot of people in the project are going to say, big deal, we don't need those anyway. Yes, we do. And the more we have of that data from those balloons is what helps us to stay in the race to have the best weather forecasting models in the world. And if we cut that information out, we are doing a disservice to us and everybody around the United States. So again, the project out there that believes that cutting out NOAA will stop anything about climate change, you're wrong. You are absolutely wrong. You are backwards wrong, and you really need to stop what you're doing when it comes to getting rid of NOAA, just because they don't have the best argument to counter another argument is a better argument. cutting out NOAA because you don't like what they are saying, that's not fair. That's not right. That's not what you need to be doing. If you have a better idea for what's going on with climate change and why the atmosphere is absorbing all the carbon dioxide, make the argument. Put it out there before the scientific community. What you're doing to NOAA is not right, fair, and it's not something that should be going on in the first place. So again, off my soapbox for now. But again, NOAA does a lot more than analyze climate change, and that is part of their charter. That's what they need to be doing. That's what they have been doing. That's what they should be doing. But they can't do that if some billionaires decide to cripple their services and really mess up their budget and their personnel. You're really, that all that going on right there is hurting the United States. It's not helping, not even any closer to that. So please consider what you're doing and take a good look at what NOAA does. And again, if you don't like climate change, stick your fingers in your ears. The rest of the world will continue talking about it, and you can't stop them from talking about it. So good luck with that. All right, so for tonight, that should take care of everything, I think. Forecast, weather graphics, dog walking forecast. I think we pretty much talked about everything at this point, so that should pretty much do it for this evening. So we'll go ahead and call it quits for tonight. If you have any questions, go ahead and send them in to us again at our website. My email address, conveniently located again at the bottom of the screen if you'd like to send in an email, complaints if you absolutely must. Again, you can watch and see what goes on with our website. This replay will be available at wdef.com/weather. If you'd like to find out more about what's going on with the forecast, you can follow me on all these social media pages. Again, up until the time that I have angered somebody in the project and they haul me away to a Central American prison for talking about climate change, which unfortunately these days appears to be more and more likely, sadly. So again, this is a very ugly type of situation, and if you're undecided on this, find out more about what's going on. Contact your senators and representatives. I have. They're probably tired of hearing from me. So again, it's up to me and you as citizens to say, this is how we want things run. Democracy is not a spectator sport. So get up off the benches, contact your senators, and tell them what you want going on. And if you want NOAA to be canceled and everybody to be unsafer than what we would be with NOAA out there, fine. I guess that's your opinion, but it's the wrong one. So it's something that you need to consider on that. So please use caution out there when you consider getting rid of any government agencies that are there to protect us. And any billionaires in charge of these things who would like to clearly post the information about the waste and the fraud so that everybody can take a look at it, which, by the way, you have not done yet, and everything you have posted up to this point in time. You want to talk about fraud and waste, there is no anything out there that they have been able to post so far that has not been able to be debunked. So let's get busy out there and let's make certain that our government knows what we want to have happen. So please consider that. That, again, is it for tonight on Weather Overtime. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. We'll have more with Chip Chapman coming up early on Tuesday morning, starting at 5 a.m. Central. Probably more showers and thunderstorms out there, so be prepared again for some wet roadways and some slow traffic at times. And we'll have more on the forecast with yours truly coming up tomorrow. We're live and direct from downtown Chattanooga at the WDEF News 12 studios. And stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online. Thanks.